About two.
And what does all this mean?
Yeah, he would.
Stops looking you in the eye.
We were gonna have twins. A lot of people don't know this story, but when RJ was diagnosed and he went in for that big, long, 2-day diagnosis, they went in together, RJ and Ryan, and both came out with an autism diagnosis. The never day was, the never day was really rough. Imagine someone tells you that your kid is never gonna speak meaningfully, never gonna tell you he loves you, never going to have friends. She didn't give us any hope at all.
To say your kid will never do something or someone will never do something, that's the worst thing in the world you can say to someone.
When we give people a label when they're super young and it's a negative label or
Right.
it's perceived as a negative label, then instantly we're not emphasizing the skills that they actually do possess.
The most important thing is looking beyond the label, because it starts with the never day, right? Kid's 3 years old and you have now listed 10 things that he will never do. How do you know that?
All the dreams that we had for our son were gone in one doctor's appointment.
Coming from Philadelphia,
I went to school in such an amazing multicultural environment. And then I moved to Malibu. I was 9 years old. It was traumatic for me because I was the only black kid in my school. I never ever saw the special needs community at high school. They just weren't on my radar.
At that time, there was a stigma or a stereotype against black quarterbacks that they can't perform as well as their white counterparts. So that dynamic weighed heavily on me.
my first big hurdle in life was when my father was diagnosed with Parkinson's. I was 19. That was the hard part for me, just really figuring out how I'm gonna become a caregiver at 19. I'm a freshman in college.
I had already been playing in the NFL for about 4 years when we met. Had we met my rookie year in the NFL, we wouldn't have been married because I was monogamously challenged.
My girlfriend, Leela, hit me and said, you remember that guy I was telling you about? He's having a barbecue and we're going. And I'm like, a football player, a quarterback? Okay, whatever.
Did I ever think that first barbecue where I
Like,
met
that's what
Rodney
I
Pete
mean.
would like become design care? No, I did not.
And I got back to my house and I hear this knock on the door and I go to my door and it's Rodney Pete. And I was like, don't you have a big party going on at your house? He said, well, when you left, the party was over. I was like, oh, really? That's gonna get you one date.
To find out you're having twins was amazing for me because it's a boy and a girl, they develop differently. They both started meeting every milestone that they're supposed to meet until that needle on the record hit RJ and he started to regress.
Hopelessness, that's all I remember.
It was difficult because to watch your son in real time slip back into a world where he stops talking, stops looking you in the eye, stops having the same laughter and smile on his face that he did 6 months or a year ago. We sitting there shaking our heads and crying and going, what do we do now? So after about a day of that, Holly was like, okay. She rolled up her sleeves and she started educating herself. I went the other way. The doctor doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm gonna fix him. And it drove a tremendous wedge between Holly and I.
I told him that he had to go. I said, I love you, but you're slowing me down.
I was doing everything wrong. And what I was doing with him was taking him steps back.
He was on Denial Street and I was on Whoop Somebody's Ass Avenue. So we were not meeting.
Then they asked me to do what I've been doing with RJ at home. And RJ had no connection with me. The therapist got back with him and 2 seconds later he's laughing, joking, doing things that he's supposed to be doing.
It was the world's worst game day for him. He couldn't communicate with his own son.
In the end, it was, I need to get on board.
Children in African American communities are diagnosed 3 to 5 years later than other populations. And that's not okay because they're missing this window of intervention that they absolutely must be on, because if they get the diagnosis at 8, 9, 10, or in their teens, it's too late.
He played soccer and basketball growing up. He's gone to a mainstream school, tells us he loves us every day. And now he's got a job working for the Dodgers in the locker room where they said he would never be a part of. That's a hell of a story.
I just saw today you got a check.
Yeah, I got a check today and deposited it today.
Was that pretty exciting?
That was so exciting, man. I used to be obsessed with baseball when I was younger. Then I used to like go to every Dodger game, like go to a lot of baseball games. I went to a couple Yankee games.
And what if they were to win the World Series? What would that be like?
It's so awesome. Now I could party with them all day long.
It was Justin Turner the other day who he actually tweeted about it. I was tweeting, oh, you're so good to my son. And he tweeted, yo, your son is like a bright light in this clubhouse. He lifts us up. We're lucky to have him.
To bring him on there and embrace him, and the players high-fiving him and giving him all that love. All RJ ever wanted to do was belong. And all any mom wants is for their son to be accepted and honored and loved and valued. I couldn't ever put into words how much it means to me to have this opportunity for him.
We first started RJ's Places to help with technology with people with autism, to have a hangout room for siblings, a workout room. And then we realized it kind of became something else. It became a place where young people with autism can go and get the skills they need to be in the workforce.
And how cool a feeling is that to have these places that are going to be able to take the person with the never day and instead give them hope.
I want every single family to understand that their kid has something valuable for this world.
So, who's your #1 favorite musician?
Rihanna,
And is there a reason why you think she's great?
cause she's very pretty, and I like her music too.
And so, Rihanna or Clayton Kershaw?
That's hard to choose.
A young kid out there, when they see that RJ can do it and is doing it, it gives them so much hope. And that's more rewarding than any touchdown I've ever thrown or any game I've ever won.
Let's change the never day to never accept limitations for your child.
We're all different in many ways. To label someone or put someone in a specific category or that box, it's going to take someone like the Dodgers saying, I believe in that kid, I'm going to give him an opportunity. They did it with Jackie Robinson, they're doing it with my son in a different way. Who are we to limit that person? Don't be afraid to hire someone like RJ. Give him an opportunity.